So if you're an old geezer like me and grew up with retro games and you now own a Switch, there are so many games coming out that are spiritual successors or are influenced by the games that we grew up with. I wanted to do a video talking about that, and I wanted to do a Top 5 Friday on it, but unfortunately, I just don't have as much time as I'd like to play video games. So right now, I'm just gonna do a top 3. Let's just call it Top 3 Tuesday. No, this is Thursday. Let's call it Top 3 Thursday. So let's get started. But before we do that, yes, this video is sponsored, thank God. Today's video is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. So you think you know all there is to know about RPGs on mobile in the year 2019. Time to throw it out the window, because this is one of the most ambitious RPGs ever released on mobile, and it's going to change everything. Playing Raid is the most immersive experience you will have on a smartphone, and it can only really be compared with the biggest PC and console titles. And the best part is that it's free. We all like free, right? Raid's got all the features that you would expect from a brand new RPG title, like amazing storyline, awesome 3D graphics, giant boss fights, PvP battles, and hundreds of champions to collect and customize. Bet you never expected to get this level of performance from a mobile game, yet here we are. In fact, here are some champions right here. Check out the detail level on them. The game is growing super fast, and check out this roadmap that they just published. They have huge plans for updates in the game for over 6 months. So there's infinite content for you to enjoy, no time to get bored. Look, you can listen to me ramble on about this all you want, and that's fine. Or you could actually take the ratings of 300,000 people who voted this almost a perfect score. So be sure to click the link below to download Raid on your Android or your Apple, and if you do, you get 1 free Epic Champion and 50,000 silver as a part of the new player program. And PvP someone. Now, all these games I own in physical form, and I always try to get them on physical because physical is awesome. Who wants stupid digital? Digital is convenient, but my God, man, just having these on the shelf too and knowing that you actually own them and they can't be taken away, that's just a feeling that's too good to pass up. And when Limited Run came out and released the digital version of Bloodstained Curse of the Moon, I had to get it. Now this one was, I think, released with the main game that came out, the Bloodstained game that came out on PS4 and Switch and all that, through the Kickstarter. No, I didn't do the Kickstarter. I guess I should have, because this is awesome. This game is Castlevania, and if you want to get a little bit more specific, it's more akin to Castlevania 3. If you're a Castlevania 3 fan, or just a Castlevania fan in general, you're gonna love this. When I first put in this game, I knew it was gonna be a little bit like Castlevania, but when I started playing it, I was essentially playing Castlevania, like another 8-bit Castlevania game. Well, I think it's a little more bits than 8. I don't know. Look, I'm not a technical guy. Who cares? The point is, the game's great. Now, what makes it a lot like Castlevania 3 is the ability to switch out your characters. So each time you fight a boss, and I might add, the boss fights in this game are one of my favorite things about it. A lot of them are really super huge, and they take a lot of tries to kind of figure out how to get through them, and I like that. I'm a big boss guy fan. Boss levels in this game are some of the best that I've played in recent years, honestly. And once you do get through a boss, you unlock a new character, and then that character has different abilities that will come in handy throughout the rest of the stages. Now, what's also super cool about that, it's almost like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So each character has their own life bar. So in Turtles, when one character is running low on life and you're about to die, you can switch out and be Raphael or Donatello or whatever. It's the same thing in this game as well, and it's really super cool and convenient to have. And they all have different weapons. They all have different sub-weapons associated with them. So some places you can only get certain areas of that stage through being a certain character. And so there is some strategy involved in how you're going to traverse the stage and get through certain areas, and depending on which character you use. You got a character with a whip. My favorite, though, is the bat. And I'm sorry, I don't know the character names, but this isn't an official review. This is just me talking about the games. You're a character who's essentially vampire or Alucard or whatever, and so you can transform to a bat, and then you Can fly around and get through the different areas of the stages as a bat, which is cool. And then you have, obviously, if you can't have a Castlevania game without somebody having a whip. So we got the whip, and then there's like a mage or whatever. All these different characters are great. They're very unique, different, and they all have different attributes that can apply specifically to certain areas and enemies in the game. It is essentially Castlevania 4 on the NES, or Castlevania 5, however you want to look at it. It looks like it could have been released back in the day. Well, the graphics are a little better than what you would see on the NES, but you get the drift of what I'm saying. The only gripe I have of the game, and it's not so much of a gripe as it is just a complaint, is that it is a little short. It's only 5 stages-ish, and so you can beat it in a couple of hours as long as you know what you're doing. But the caveat to that is the fact that once you beat it, you can go back and now you've unlocked all the characters, so you can go through the game again and get to areas that you couldn't get before. Because there are a lot of branching paths and secrets and stuff like that you can't get through the first time because you haven't unlocked that character before. So you can access them, and it gives it a little bit of replay value if you choose to do that. You know, even if you don't like Castlevania, you might like it. So I definitely I recommend it. Alright, so I'm a major Castlevania. So I am one major Ninja Gaiden fan. I can just pop the game in and beat it, it's no problem. So when this game came out, it was something that I knew I had to pick up. And that's The Messenger. Now, I'm not going to say that The Messenger is a spiritual successor to Ninja Gaiden, because it's just really not. I would say The Messenger is a lot less like Ninja Gaiden than Bloodstained is to Castlevania. That straight up is just another game in the series as far as I'm concerned. But The Messenger is not quite as spot on. However, it's clearly inspired, I think, by Ninja Gaiden. The goal is you basically have to just go through these levels and deliver a scroll at the end of the game. The thing that really stands out and makes this game unique is the fact that you have to really master the jumping to get through it. I mean, they make it to where it's a real tricky jump that you have to do. So you jump, you hit an item, or you hit an enemy, and once you do that, once you've made contact, you can do kind of like a second jump. So you can double jump, but you have to get that timing perfectly, or you just don't get it. And it takes a while to get used to it. It took me a little bit of time to get used to that, but once I did, and once you get really good at it, it's really fun to try to get through some of these stages by basically hitting and jumping your way over pits, over spikes, over all these different obstacles. And you know, if you screw up once, you're gonna die. So you have to it really tests your patience and your skill level, and you have to really just concentrate and just be in the zone to get through some of these spots. Most of the just getting through the level areas, just the general where you have to go isn't too difficult, but there are some areas, some optional things like medallion collection and different things like that, to where they really up the challenge. Like, if you want to get that, you're gonna have to earn it. And so you have to really be on your skilled on your game to get some of this stuff. And there's been times I've spent 30 minutes just trying to get one thing. I just thoroughly enjoyed it up until a point. I don't know, maybe about midway through, it kind of changes the formula a little bit. And I didn't necessarily like that. I will commend them that it's different. They tried something different, and that's fine. I just didn't like it. About midway through, the game kind of changes into more of a Metroidvania. Whereas before, it was get from point A to point B. Yeah, sure, you could deviate from the path a little bit to get some extra things, but it wasn't too much of a deviation from the normal path of just getting through the stage. Whereas once it kind of changes it up, you're essentially playing a Metroidvania style game. With even the same style map and everything that they always have in those games. While I don't hate that style of game, in fact, you'll find that out in the next one that I'm about to talk about, I just didn't like it with this one. I really was enjoying the game as it was. And the fact that they kind of changed it up midway through, I lost interest a little bit. I like the game, I really do. One of my favorite on the Switch so far, because I had a blast with the first half of it. And you know, I did stop playing, but I might pick it up again and try to finish it out at some point. Like I said, don't hate it, just I prefer the first half way more. The big game, the main game of why I even wanted to make this video or even do a video like this, is because I wanted to talk about this particular game. And it's something that I didn't necessarily know I would like, but I saw it, I got it, and I immediately fell in love with this thing. Monster Boy in Monster World. Oh my god, this game is good. So I'm not a huge Metroidvania kind of guy, but this game, I think this game made me a huge fan of that genre. Basically, it's a continuation of the Wonder Boy series, the Dragon Trap. I wasn't into those games on Master System. Now I kind of want to be. I want to go back and check them out, because this game made me a fan of the series. You start off as this kid on this island, and everybody basically turns into animals. So you gotta go and collect a bunch of stuff and turn everybody back into the way they're supposed to be, you know, human. And along the way, you absorb the ability to change into different animals, and those animals have different abilities. And, you know, just like games like this, once you gain a new ability, you can go on to other places that you couldn't get to before. Whether it be a snake, frog, lion, my favorite, the dragon, which I really loved playing because you could shoot fire and fly, or the stupid hog, which, you know, I guess he comes in handy too. The sprites for all these characters are just really cool looking. The world, the world is pretty big, and your ability to just, it's fun to explore. That's the thing. Usually I get tired head with these types of games where I'm just like, I've been through this level, I've been through this area so much, I've just kind of lost interest. This kept me interested, and I'm not exactly sure why this game but some of the other ones like Super Metroid, I kind of lost interest in Super Metroid a little bit. Not that I love it, but I just did. This one didn't. I got a kick out of just exploring, just going around and seeing where I could go previously once I unlocked a new character, once I unlocked a new ability, once I got a new piece of equipment or whatever. I kind of became addicted to it. I don't get addicted to video games as much these days. It takes a little something special to get me addicted. The graphics in this game are absolutely gorgeous. I would say that these graphics are the best looking graphics I've seen on the Switch. And that's, I think, one of the things that drew me into the game and I loved about it. It was just so bright and colorful, and you wanted to see more of this world. So you wanted to unlock more of this world to see what was in it. This game is gorgeous. It is one of the best looking games I've ever seen in my entire life, and you need to play it. After you finish this video, you need to go get it. I don't know if it's on any other system other than Switch. It may be, but I don't know. And look, I know that there are more games out there that kind of cater to us old people and the retro gaming scene and all that stuff. In fact, there was one called, I think, Blazing Chrome or something, whatever. It's basically Contra and Metal Slug. It's more Contra than the Contra game that just came out by Konami, right? However, I haven't played that. I don't even have it, so I can't really talk about it. But I plan to, and I know there's a lot more out there that I haven't gotten to. So with that said,